All right. Good evening, everyone. Ah, wow. It's been a busy day for me. Good evening. So, I want to welcome you guys to today's space. And what we're going to be talking about today is how you can turn yourself into a live breathing catch machine. I actually labeled it as how you can really turn yourself into a live breathing catch machine. That's basically what we are going to be talking about today. So the way this space is going to work is that I'm going to discuss my ideas based on what I have learned and based on my experience. I'm going to talk about what it means to turn yourself into a live reading cash machine. And then Emmanuel Adioto is online, is on this space, is going to be helping me to moderate this space. And at the end of my speech, I'm going to open up the room for some people to kind of like contribute or ask questions, and that will be it. So let's start with my definition of what I call a live breathing cash machine. I think that's where we should start from. So, but before I even go to that, because this entire thing is about money, right? It's live breathing cash machine. It's about money discussion. Let's even talk about something that's kind of like sounds funny to me, but I don't know why people do it. So the thing is that now people spend their entire lives working for money, looking for money, searching for money. If you look at it, that's what people basically do. Right from when you were young, you begin to go to school, primary school, secondary school, university. You are doing all of this stuff so that at the end of the day, you can finally get a job, and then you can begin to make some money. And then some people would even go for maybe masters. Some would go for some professional courses, certifications. Some would go for PhD, so that you can, make money, take care of your family, do all of that stuff. And some would probably even go into some shady shit. So people do all of this stuff just because they are looking for money, they want to make money. Now, the funny part to me is that people don't really pause for a second or for a minute or for a day to even think like this entire thing that I'm chasing or that I am spending all this time and effort for, they don't really try to figure it out. They don't really try to figure out exactly what this stuff that they are chasing after, what is it? You understand? People don't really do that. And I think that's where majority of the struggle and all of this stuff when it comes to money starts from. Because here you are spending so much energy, so much money, so much resources, so much time chasing after something, looking after something, but you don't really have a good understanding of what it is. I mean, you can imagine somebody who is maybe a detective, and this detective is looking for a particular criminal, and he doesn't even know what the criminal looks like. He doesn't know. He doesn't know where he is from. He doesn't know if the criminal is male or female. He doesn't have a picture of the criminal, and he's just looking for the criminal. Maybe all he has is just the name of the criminal alone. Can you just imagine that kind of situation? And that is the kind of situation most people find themselves in, because all they just know they are working after is that they are looking for money. Oh, I'm looking for money. I want more money. I'm looking for money. But this money that you are looking for, sir and ma, what exactly is it? Like, you understand? So that's the funny thing. People just spend all this time just looking for money without pausing to understand what they are looking for or what they are working for. So that is the first issue that I think people have when it comes to money. Okay? Money, 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 money. All right. So, um, what exactly do I mean when I say live breeding cash machine? Now, live breeding cash machine is a term that I came up with. Okay, I came up with that term myself, and I came up with the term. It basically means somebody who is able to generate cash on demand. Yeah. Someone who is able to raise any amount of money that he needs on demand. So when I came up with that, when I came up with that term or that phrase for myself, I didn't even write a book then. I wasn't even planning to share it with anybody. I just realized. I think I came up with that term in 2012. Yeah, I think that was in 2012. So in 2012, I was supposed to pay rent for the house I was staying in then, and the landlord came and the guy was saying, my rent has expired, and for some reasons I didn't even know that my rent has expired. So and he said, you need to pay for this rent and stuff and stuff and stuff. And he said, I'm already 3 months backwards for the rent. And when the guy said that stuff that day, I just looked. Oh, I don't really have enough money in my bank account to pay for that rent. And I just told the landlord, I said, you know what? That was on a Monday because I remember clearly. I just told the man, I said, you know what? Come back on Wednesday. He didn't come back on Wednesday. So when the man now left, I now started thinking, hey, look at me. Oh. I even told this man to come back for his money on Wednesday. Where exactly? Where exactly am I going to get this money from? But guess what? By the time the man came back on Wednesday for the money, I had his money waiting for him, and I even had surplus waiting for him. What exactly did I do between Monday and Wednesday to get that money? Well, be rest assured, I did not rob somebody, and I didn't do Yahoo, and I didn't borrow the money. I basically raised the money. So, and that's not the only time that I've done that. I think on the space that I discussed yesterday, I talked about when we wanted to start our sport betting website, and we're in need of 3.5 million within a month. I basically raised the 3.5 million like very, very fast. When I wanted to go for Brazil World Cup in 2014, even though it was late and I needed money to go for it, I raised the money very, very fast within 5 days. So these are just because that was how I used to just live my life. If I need money for anything, I just raise the money for it. So I have never, ever since I learned how to operate as a live reading cash machine, which should be from 2011, I can boldly say I don't think there has been a time when I was stuck for money, like when where I was broke. Yeah, I don't think there has been a time where I was broke. You understand? So because anytime I need money, I'm always able to come up with the amount of money. Now, the amount of money I've been able to come up with over the years has kind of like changed, because there was a time when, based on my lifestyle and based on my mentality, based on my mindset, based on my living, then I would always be coming up with amounts 200k, 500k, then later on 1 million, later on 2 million, 3 million, and all that stuff. So, but right now, things have changed far, 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 far from all those levels. So, but basically, what I'm just saying is that regardless of where you are, a live reading cash market is somebody who is able to generate cash on demand without having to depend on people. You know, you're able to raise your money on demand without having to deal with bullshit from people, without having to borrow the money, without having to go and beg for it. You just do what you have to do, and then you raise the money. That's what being a live reading cash machine it's all about. So, and I think this is something that everybody needs to know how to do. And this stuff has nothing to do with you going to school, or you being a graduate, or you being an MSc, whatever, whatever, whatever. It has something to do with that. You might even be a primary six. You might even have a primary six certificate, and you can be a live reading cash machine. All right. It has nothing to do with your certificate, or maybe you go to school or any of that stuff. So when I was in school, when I was in the university, I had some inspiration, or should I call it influence? Yeah, I had some influence from some people. It kind of like rubbed on me. So the very first person that rubbed on me was this guy called Niyi Adesanya. So Niyi Adesanya is a consultant. Is like a major consultant. He consults for big companies like Shell and stuff. So, and then I think he's a CEO of a consulting firm called Fifth Gear. Fifth Gear, yeah. So when I was in school, I had the opportunity of listening to this guy talk on numerous occasions. And anytime I listen to this guy talk, I would just be amazed and astonished. And the reason for that is because this man is an SSC holder. His highest certificate is secondary school education. So I don't know if he has gotten any other thing right now, but as at then, his highest certificate was SSE. And here was a guy who is an SSE holder, and this guy was consulting for major organizations, like big organizations here in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Kenya, in the US, and all these organizations were paying him a lot of money. In fact, if you listen to this man talk for just 10 minutes, you probably think that this man is a professor from Harvard or something. But guess what? No, this man is just somebody who only had SSCA. Anyway, that's for Niya Adesanya. Another guy that I listened to that kind of like rubbed on me with his influence is this guy who left from my school. So for him, he was like a really, really brilliant dude. He studied engineering from my university, and by the time he finished school, and then he went out there, well, guess what? He couldn't get himself a job. I mean, this is this brilliant guy who graduated with I think 2-1 or so, and he couldn't get a job. So what he eventually had to do was to take his life into his own hands. And what he just did was that he realized that one of the reasons why he couldn't actually kind of like get a job is because what he was offering was not what was needed in the marketplace. So Baba just basically went to learn Java programming. So after he learned Java programming, and then he began to kind of like apply for stuff from companies, he realized that all the companies that were hiring him for Java programming, MTN, Shell, and stuff, none of them were even asking him for a certificate. The only thing they were interested in was the fact that this guy knows Java programming. He knows he can really work with it. That was the main thing that they were all about. And based on that, that was the last time he ever even tried to use his certificate to do anything. Anyway, that's about, I've forgotten his name now, but that's about him. Then another person that rubbed on me is there is this guy from this one. I never met the guy. This is a guy from the US. He's a high school dropout actually. His name is Vincent James. He wrote a book called 12-Month Millionaire. So it's an old book. It's not a book you can find on Amazon anyway. It's more like a book that was sold via direct response. So the name of the book is called 12 Months Millionaire. And this guy is so brilliant when it comes to making money. Like, this guy built a company up to $100 million within 12 months. So when you look at so when I looked at all of these people back then and what they were doing, I just realized that learning about money, being in charge of money, making money, doing all of this stuff basically has nothing to do with your certificate and all of those and all of that stuff. I mean, your certificate is useful and important for many other things, but when it comes to making money, actually, it has nothing to do with it directly. As a matter of fact, majority of people who have mastered money, they are the ones who end up hiring people who have certificates. So that's kind of like how it works. So generating cash on demand starts with something that we're going to talk about. It's called desire. 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 Like burning, burning, burning desire. Actually, anything you're going to achieve in life, really, if you don't have a burning desire to really achieve it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So it's just like somebody who wants to lose weight and you want to lose weight, and then there's even like a gym right in the front of your house, but because you don't really have that burning desire to really lose that weight, you won't even go into the gym to go and do anything. But the very moment it clicks in your brain and you really, 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 really want to lose weight, you are going to begin to do something about it. Even at this point, even if the gym is like 2 miles away from your house, you are going to do anything whatsoever to lose that weight, because now you have that burning desire to get it done, to achieve that stuff that you want to achieve. All right, Emmanuel, please let me know that you are online, please.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much. At any point, please, at any point, if my voice does not really work very well, or if anything happens, just let me know. Just give me an alert.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. So it starts with a burning desire. You becoming a life breathing cash machine starts with a burning desire. Like, you must really, really, really want to get that stuff handled. You must really, really want to become a life breathing cash machine. If you don't want to get that stuff done, then it's not gonna work. So there's this book by there's this guy called Ben Carson. Ben Carson, he's a neurosurgeon in the US. I think I read his book called Gifted Hands back in the day. And Ben Carson was this guy who had a dream. He had this desire to become a neurosurgeon. And despite all the odds and stuff, because he had that desire, like, he really wanted to do that stuff, because becoming a neurosurgeon is no easy job. I mean, a surgeon that works on the brain, and it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of training, it's a lot of effort. But because he really had to get that stuff done, well, at the end of the day, he made it. So anytime we look at people, maybe a champion, somebody who's the number one thing that helps them out is this thing about them really wanting to achieve that stuff that they want to achieve. And that is why they burn all bridges. They burn all bridges. They get rid of all excuses. There is this story that I read back in the day by Julius Caesar. So I think they said Julius Caesar wanted to attack a city. I don't know if it was London, or I don't even know what that city is. So Julius Caesar wanted to attack this city, and they realized that the odds were against them. So what Julius Caesar did, once he landed in that city, was that he ordered that all the boats they bought, he said they should burn everything. So they burnt all the boats that they bought, and then he told his army, he said, "Now you guys, the only way you guys can go back to your families, only way you can go back to your home is only if you win. It's only if you win." So at that point, guess what? Their desires to live, went through the roof, and they won. So burning your bridges. Tony Robbins used to say, if you want to get a city, burn your bridges. Burn your bridges. Now, let me just shift this in. Up till today, for me, I'm not saying anyone should do this, but when I was learning all of this stuff, one of the things that I did is that I burnt all my bridges. Now, my major bridge was me having to fall back on a certificate. So I realized that early. I knew that if things get tough during my journey, I realized that there would be this thing for me to go and fall back on my certificate. And I know how these things work. It just starts with, oh, let me just get this my certificate and just go and work for 6 months. Then 6 months is going to turn to 1 year. Then 1 year is going to turn to 3 years. Then 3 years will turn to 6 years, and then you are stuck with it. So the first thing I did was that I just basically forgot about the certificate. Up till now, I don't have a certificate. I'm not saying you should do that. This is just my personal stuff, because I didn't want to fall back on that stuff. I didn't want to fall back on those kind of stuff for me. So I just really wanted to go deep into what I wanted to go to. I wanted to burn all my bridges. So I burnt that part off. Now, guess what? There was nowhere for me to go. It's either what I want to do works or it works. So at the point in my life when I was trying to learn stuff about money, really move up, I was frustrated because nothing was basically working. So there was a time that I was really broke, there was no money and stuff, and I started looking for a job. Like, started looking for a job. So here was this guy who didn't have a certificate. This was when I left school. And the only job I saw a vacancy. The vacancy was for computer engineers, people who can repair computers. And I think I took a course on a 2 weeks course on how to repair computers. So I took that course on how to repair computers. So because based on that, I went to apply for this job, and they called us for an interview, and I went for the interview. By the time I got to the place for the interview, they said the interview was going to be practical. And for the practical, they gave us all these computers, all these PCs to repair. So I think they gave us like ten pieces to troubleshoot and repair, to prove that we really know how to do this job. And guess what? We started that interview from 10 a.m. in the morning up to 6 p.m. in the evening. And can you guess how many computers I repaired? I repaired zero computers. I repaired zero computers. I couldn't troubleshoot one computer. The guy that was beside me was able to repair eight. I repaired zero. And that was how those guys didn't employ me. And I just went back home. Just went back home, and when I got back to my house, and I was just kind of like, I'm like, hey, Omo, you don't enter this thing, no. Like, I was so frustrated. But while I was in there, um, there was this little book by David Oyedepo. The name of the book is called what's the name? If you can think enough, what you have is enough. Yeah, that's the name of the book. If you can think enough, what you have is enough. So it's a little book. I don't know if the book is still in circulation. I don't even know where I kept my copy. I guess somebody just took it from my house. So if you can think enough, what you have is enough. Anyway, that book was what saved me. I'm going to talk about that part another day. But basically, that was the last time I had to even go and try to look for a job. I just went back to what I was trying to do. But I'm just saying all of this stuff because, see, if you don't really want something really, really bad, if you don't want something really, 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 really bad, little stuff will just basically take you off your journey, and then you're going to lose focus. So when I was in school, I there is this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a really good book that I think everyone should read. If you want to be a life reading cash machine, I think it's important for you to read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, right? So when I was in school, I got introduced to this book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I was reading the book. So one of my classmates saw the book with me, and the guy said, "Oh, that somebody also gave him that book to read, but that he only read like a few pages of the book and then he dropped it because the book is boring." And when the guy said the book is boring, I was in my mind I was just laughing because as at then I had already read the book 3 times, and I just realized that our our desires, what we are aiming for, what we are trying to achieve, it was basically different. So for him, that book was a boring book because I guess maybe he was just trying to just read something for entertainment or whatever. So it was a boring book for him. He didn't really see any reason to kind of like get into it and all of that stuff. But for me, I was on a journey to become a live reading cash machine. So I read the book over and over. Like, I read the book. I think I still read the book last year again. I read the book over and over. And that is just the difference. If you are going to become a live reading cash machine and then you have that desire to do it, you are going to be doing some things that people who don't really have that as part of their goals, they will just be wondering, what in this one they do safe? Now only you, now only you, now only you, yeah, are you the only one who needs money or who needs money? You'll be going for all these seminars, you'll be doing all of this stuff. I mean, now only you understand. So I think I remember one of other incidents too. One day I was in a bookshop. I was just looking at the nice books that they had in that bookshop, and these two people came inside the bookshop. One girl and a guy, one beautiful girl and a guy, and they were looking at books. So and the girl was kind of like telling the guy, "Ah, this book is nice. I should buy this book. I should buy this book." And what the guy said was really interesting. The guy said, "Why should we spend the money we are supposed to use to eat on buying all these useless books?" I was, because that bookshop was a bookshop for business books. You could see all these business books, motivational books in there. And this guy was telling the girl, "Why should we use the money we are supposed to spend on eating to buy all of these books?" And I was just there. I was just laughing because I don't really understand. So basically, for for the girl and the guy who I think was her boyfriend, they were basically like two different people. The girl was trying to improve her life, improve her finances, improve her understanding of business and money, but all what this guy was concerned about was food to eat. You understand? So anyway, that's about the first thing. It starts with the burning desire. So without the burning desire, nothing is basically going to happen. You won't have enough energy. You won't have uh enough power, enough push to really go after this journey. All right. Now, when it comes to becoming a live reading cash machine, I really break it down into just three things you have to do to become a live reading cash machine. Now that is after you are very sure that you have a burning desire. Okay. So becoming a live breeding cash machine is all about three things. So the first thing that it's all about is your mindset. So I talk about mindset a lot. Mindset. It's a boring topic, actually. So I won't hate talking about it. But well, there's nothing that we can do. You have to talk about mindset because without mindset, nothing is actually gonna work. That's just the long and short of it. Without the mindset you need for money, nothing is going to work. So it starts with prosperity mindset. Start with prosperity mindset. There are two types of people or two types of mindsets. There are people with the scarcity mindset. There are people with the prosperity mindset. People with prosperity mindset, they believe that, oh, there is enough money to go around. And they also believe that, well, I have what it takes to get my own share of the money. And for people who have scarcity mindset, they are the ones who think like victims. They always think that, oh, everybody is after them, everybody wants to get their money. They are the ones, they always hate rich people. You understand? All these people with poverty mindset, they hate it. Oh, why is that guy selling that stuff? Why is that guy riding in that nice car? Why is that guy dating that pretty woman? They always act like victims. And people who act like that, you know what? There's no way you can actually have a poverty or scarcity mindset and attract money. It's not going to happen. It's your belief system. So the question is, which of these two groups do you belong to? Which of these two groups do you belong to? Are you somebody with a scarcity mindset, or are you somebody who has a prosperity mindset? If you have a scarcity mindset, well, the good news is that you can reprogram your mindset. You can reprogram your mindset. You can become somebody that has a prosperity mindset. And that would be the first step. So if you don't have, there are all these people who say, money is the root of all evil, blah, 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 and all of that stuff. But really, if you think about it very well and you think about all the stupid things that people do, people who don't have money, people who lack money, you are going to even see more that the lack of money is even much more the root of plenty evils. Yeah. So that's that's all about that. Because when you think about money, money is not evil. I mean, money is not evil. People just talk about money is not evil. Uh, it's people. It is the way you are. It's the way you are as a person. Is that's what determines what you use money to do. People who are good people, they will use money to do good stuff. Then people who are bad people, they're gonna use the money to do bad stuff. That's just the way it is when it comes to money. So, but at the end of it, prosperity mindset, they believe there's a lot of money out there. They treat money decently. They appreciate other people. People with poverty mindset, they believe, oh, money is scarce. They handle money anyhow. They hate people who have money. And this is actually why all these people remain poor. That is why money runs away from them. So somebody said sometimes. Ben said money is kind of like a spirit. I don't know how true that one is, but he says money is kind of like a spirit, and money really knows when you know how to handle it. So if you know how to handle money, you respect money, you like money, well, money gets closer to you. And if you are the kind of person who doesn't like money, you don't respect it, money runs away from you. It's just like dogs. So I'm a dog lover, right? It's just like dogs. And one of the things I have realized about dogs is that if you are a dog lover, if you're the kind of person who likes dogs, you respect them, you play with them, you don't eat them. If you go into a place where there are dogs, dogs kind of have this intuition whereby they know when somebody likes them. They know when somebody likes them, they want to play with you, they get settled with you, and all of that stuff. But if you are the kind of person who doesn't like dogs, you hate them, you or maybe you even kill them and eat them. When they see you, they will begin to bark and run away from you and avoid you or even attack you if it's dogs who can attack. They know that, oh, this person is a hater, so they'll just bark at you and hit. So kind of like that is what money is all about. So I don't have any quotations or whatever to back up all of that stuff, but that's actually what I have seen. The more you embrace money, the more you take care of money, the more you want to learn more about money, the more you respect money stuff, the more you get money. That's just kind of like how it is. So apart from the whole mindset, plenty boring stuff, the next one is for you to become a live breathing cash machine is you have to understand money. Like you have to understand how money works. You have to understand what money actually is. You understand? You can't just be like all the plenty people in this world who just the only thing most people just know about money is that, oh, I need money, let me go and get a job. You understand? I need money, let me go and get a job. Then you get a job, then you get paid, and then you realize, oh, the money I'm getting paid from this job is not even enough. Oh, let me get two jobs. And then they get two jobs because and then once they get the job, oh, you take the money, you go to the market, you go and buy stuff, you buy stuff, the money gets finished. And for most people, that's kind of like how the understanding and use of money is just all about. Just earn money and all that stuff. They don't understand what money is, how money works. And that is why I said earlier that book about Rich Dad Poor Dad, that book titled Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, it's a really nice book. Get the book and read it. Get that book and read the book. Now, okay, so when I say understand money, One major thing you have to understand is this when it comes to understanding money. Have you ever thought about this? Every time you spend money, every time you spend money to buy something, have you realized that you are basically making the other person richer? Like when I go out now and then I come to your store, I pay you 100K to buy a pair of shoes. I'm making you richer because I just gave you money. So that's kind of like, so that means for the store owner, if this store owner gets 100 people to come into their store and pay them 100K to buy shoes from them, they just got richer. They just got like maybe that's like 100K, that's like 10 million richer. Have you thought about it? Have you also thought about the fact that every single day you are spending money? Because every day, either you like it or not, you have to buy food, you have to buy water. If you, especially if you are kind of like if you live in Lagos, we buy water in Lagos. That thing was kind of like new to me when I moved from my state, because in back in my state, I didn't really used to buy water. We used to have all this water that we drink and stuff. So, but moving to Lagos, you buy water, you buy pure water, buy bottled water, buy dispenser water, buy all of this plenty water. So you buy water, you have to pay for your power, you have to pay for gas, you have to pay for um to dispose refuse, you have to pay for transportation, you have to pay for all sort of things. And these are even basic amenities. You have to pay. And each time you are paying, somebody somewhere is making money. Here in Lagos, we pass through toll gate, you have to pay money here, pay money. You want to park your car, you pay money, this and that, you pay money. You want to wash your car, you don't want to wash it yourself, you pay money to somebody to help you wash your car. You want to go for a nice dining experience, you go there, you go to a restaurant, you pay money. You go for shopping, you pay money. You go to barb your hair, you pay money. You go to a salon, you go to a spa, you pay money. So you are just right there paying money all over the place. And what I usually ask people is that, who is paying you? Who is paying you? So for most people, they only have one means of payment. They only have one means of earning, which they can't even kind of control. Because for most people, the only way money comes into their life is via the money they get from their job, which is money they can't really control. I'll probably still talk about what I call income control maybe tomorrow or some other day. They can't really control the money because for somebody now who is maybe like a teacher who doesn't know how to do anything with money, you go to your place of work, you work, Rihanna, and at the end of the day, they pay you maybe 70K as your salary, and because you spent all day at that job, you don't even have any extra time to do much to make money. So they pay you 70K. It now means that everything that you have to do has to be within that 70K. So you will be like, okay, I have to save some money, I have to do this, I have to do that, and you can't even like really do many of the things that you want to do because the money is not enough, and you can't really do much about that because you don't know how to make money and you don't know how to sell, and despite that, you still have to spend money. So the way you do that is by the way when you understand the fact that each time you spend money, somebody else gets richer. Somebody else, the other party makes more money. How about you reverse that? Because now, when you reverse it, it means that you are now the person behind the POS. You are now the person taking the POS and swiping cards and getting paid. You're not the person getting paid. You're not the person swiping cards. You're not the person receiving money. So, because it now means that for you to That means that you can receive as much money as possible from people legitimately, legally, and then it gives you more options in life. You can now use that money to go after, to achieve your own dreams, take care of your family, make your own expenses, because now you've opened the gate for money to come to you. You've opened several gates for money to come to you. You know how to get money to come to you. So I'm going to talk more about this one later. Then the third thing is, once you have an understanding of money, the third thing would be how to sell and how to bring in tons of sales. Selling, bringing in tons of sales will not be the third thing you need to do to become a live reading cash machine. So now, when I say selling and bringing in tons of sales, I'm not talking about you being an entrepreneur or stuff. Now, there are many entrepreneurs who are broke. So this stuff isn't about entrepreneurs, and isn't about entrepreneur. Being a live reading cash machine isn't about being an entrepreneur. It's about you knowing how to sell and you knowing how to master sales. So it's not about you creating one large business and stuff. If you want to do that, cool, fine, nice. You understand? But it's not really basically about that. It's basically about the fact that you know how to bring in sales, because money comes in from sales. From what I just explained to you before, when people pay you for something, that's how you get money. So, but how do they pay you for that stuff? They pay you for stuff because you are selling something to them. You are offering them something. Just the same way you go out to buy fuel, they sell fuel to you, they sell food to you, they sell airtime, they sell phones to you. You know, you pay people for all these different things. So now, how about you actually sitting down and learning how to get these sales? I'm not just learning how to get the sales, learning how to get the sales on demand. Because now, I keep saying on demand. Earlier I said live reading cash machine. Somebody who is called a live reading cash machine is someone who can generate cash on demand. So what it means is that you can't really be stuck. No, regardless of wherever you are in the world, you can't really be stuck because you know exactly what to do to make money. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as there are human beings that exist in that part of the world, you know how to make money. And not making money illegally, making money legitimately. You know what to do to make money legitimately. And it comes because you understand that making money is about exchanging value, it's about selling value. And the more you learn, you know how to sell, the more money you can make. And the faster you can make the money. So when I was I think in 2006, or I don't really, I've forgotten that particular time. I read a story. I read an interesting story. It was a story of a guy called John Reese. Is it John Reese now? Yeah, I think it's John Reese. So I read the story of this guy called John Reese. So John Reese is an internet marketer, one of these old internet marketing guys. So the story I read about John Reese was that John Reese made $1 million in 24 hours. Sorry, let me drink some water. All right. So I read a story where they said John Reese made $1 million in 24 hours. And back then, I remember I was thinking, how on earth does somebody make $1 million in 24 hours? Like, this guy, what did he do? Like, this guy doesn't have two heads, he doesn't have four legs. What did he do? And really, when it boils down to it, all he did was that this guy has a product that many people want, and then he basically has a distribution way, a way of showing that product to many of the people who wanted it. That's all. So a product, then a way of showing the product to many people who want the product. Okay, so I'm just going to come back to that formula: product or solution plus distribution. I'm still going to come back to that formula later on. So, but then let's talk about other things. Now, like I said at the beginning, I talked about how people spend their entire lives working for money, blah 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 blah. And one of the major worries that people have when it comes to money, or when it comes to life and stuff, is money worries. People worry so much about money. You see them thinking, frowning, and doing stuff because they are thinking, how do I pay for my child's school fees? How do I pay this my rent that is coming up? Oh, I didn't like the way I was treated today in the public bus. How do I buy my own car? How do I do this? How do I do that? For people who are, so some will be like, oh, how do I get a visa? How do I move away from Nigeria? How do I do this? What? They are always worrying about money. Worry, 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 worry. But they forget that the only way for you to actually get rid of these money worries is to master how to make the money. I mean, make the money, how to make the money work for you. That's basically what you have to do. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk now about. I'm going to go back to when I was talking about understanding how money works. I'm going to go back to that section. Now, I don't know if I did economics in school, but I hated that. I hated economics. I don't really like it. Now I think I should have listened more to people, to my teacher, but it doesn't really matter anyway. So I wasn't a good economics student in school, but I remember that they said money is a medium of exchange or means of exchange. So it's a way for a person to trade what you have for what you want. So I want a phone, I give you money. I want a car, I give you money. I want food, I give you money. I want a fan, I give you money. You understand? Even in some cases, you want sex, you give a prostitute money and stuff. So money is a means of exchanging what you have for what you need. And basically that's what money is all about. Money is about exchanging value. It's a means of exchanging value. You pay and then you get value in return. So what it means is that really, for you to make money, there has to be something that you are willing to exchange for that money. There has to be a value. So back in the day, before the whole technology and information and stuff, the people who were rich people back in the day were people who have lots of lands. And the reason why they are rich is because they have land. So they were able to exchange their lands for money. So because they have all this plenty money, they were the ones buying slaves. They're the ones with plenty money. They were the ones with plenty wives. All that stuff because they had land, and land was the value that they were using to exchange for money. Now, some of the richest countries in the world are countries like Iran and Saudi Arabia, and these countries have oil. They have oil. They have a lot of oil, and all they are doing is they are exchanging the oil that they have for money. Then there are all these other countries like the US where they exchange a lot of solutions, technology, cars, phones, computers, defense systems, a whole lot of stuff. They export these things to other countries, they exchange them, and they make money, they get paid for it. So that's just basically what money is all about. Value, money, value, money. So I like to talk about I like to use this illustration of Pablo Escobar. Pablo was a drug lord. Pablo was a drug lord, but I usually like to kind of like use it because this kind of examples make people get exactly what you are talking about. Now, I'm not saying you should go and do any legitimate thing to make money, but even people who do well, even people who do illegitimate, I'm talking about illegitimate now, even people who do illegitimate stuff, illegal stuff to make money, they still have to offer something in exchange for that money. So, for example, Pablo was into drug dealing. Now, people who deal drugs, what do? They sell the drugs. Like, they sell the drugs, they get money. They sell meth, they sell cocaine, they sell heroin in exchange for money. People who sell weapons, they do the same thing. They still have to actually sell it. Even people who offer services that are illegal, prostitution, assassins, they still have to sell that stuff as exchange to get money. Now, I'm just basically saying all of this stuff because money, that's the way money just works. Money works when you exchange something. Now, what you are exchanging for money is going to determine the kind of money you get. So, for example, now, if I'm giving you a sachet of pure water, how much money do I get? I think right now a sachet of pure water sells for 20 naira or so, I think. It means I only get paid 20 naira. So I'm saying that because small value, when you offer small value, what you get in return is small money. If you offer small value, you get small money. But guess what? If I'm selling, if I'm selling a if I'm selling you a car like a G wagon, if I'm selling you a G wagon, you will have to pay me about 70 million. Now that's big value. Big value is what? Big money. Big value equals big money. Now, you can make big money with small value, but what it just means is that you will have to sell a lot of the small value to make the big money. You have to make up with it with numbers. For example, now Dangote, right? What does Dangote sell? Okay, Dangote sells cement. He sells salt, sells sugar, sells all of this stuff. Now, when you break it down, majority of people who buy all these commodities that Dangote said, they usually buy it in small amounts. One sachet, 2 bags there, 3 bags there, and stuff and stuff and stuff. But because he sells high quantities, high numbers of these things, he is able to make a lot of money doing that. But for people who sell like maybe land or houses, lands are high price stuff. They sell a piece of land. Maybe they sell a piece of land for 10 million or 20 million or 5 million or whatever. They don't really need to sell a lot of it before they make big money because what they are exchanging is already big value. So big value equals big money. So that's the formula. Just remember, value equals money. Money equals value. Small value, you offer small value, you get small money. You offer big value, you get big money. You offer mega amounts of small value, it eventually leads to big money. You offer mega amounts of big value, it leads to plenty of big money too as well. So it's all about just offering value. So what you just want to be on the lookout for is about how can you offer value, how can you sell value. Now when I'm talking about offering value and selling value, it doesn't even have to be something that you own, because making money has become so easy these days for people who just want to sit down and listen. Because majority of the time when you talk about make money, make money, make money, people have this stuff because a lot of people are affected by this whole scarcity and poverty mindset. When they hear stuff about make money and stuff, it triggers their spam or scam system. They begin to think, oh, that person wants to collect money from me. That person wants to scam me. Like I read, I was reading some comments on Twitter recently. One guy was saying that that Toyin guy is always collecting people's money so that he can selling them courses so that he can get rich. That that he is not going to pay me any amount of money that so that he will not contribute to me getting rich. And I was just laughing because I don't understand. So is it your 100K or I don't know how much money he wants to pay me that will now be something that would make me rich or richer? And this same guy is somebody who is going to go outside tomorrow and buy Dangote stuff, buy sugar, buy spaghetti, and all of that stuff. And he wouldn't even think that he is also making Dangote richer. I mean, why would you even sit down somewhere and be thinking that you are making somebody richer when really the money you are paying somebody, the person is giving you value in return for it? The only time you should be worried is when you are paying money to people and they are not giving you value in return for what you are paying for. So anyway, that's just funny. It's just all these people who have funny funny mentality, funny way of thinking about money. Okay, so let's talk about value because I've been talking about value equals money, blah blah blah. So what exactly am I talking about when I say value? All right, now value can be anything that people need. Okay, I like to divide it into just two things. People want to get a result. People want something that is the value they need. For example, now somebody is hungry. To just make it easy, somebody is hungry. That person needs food. At that point, the value is food. Someone is thirsty. They want to drink water. At that point, water is the value that they are paying for. Somebody wants to go for a wedding and then they want to look all tush and stuff, and then they need some really cool outfit, and at that point, that is the value that they are looking for. The people who want to get married, they need a hall to do their wedding party and stuff. That's part of the value that they are looking for. So that's just basically what value is all about. Value is just equals problems that people have that they want to solve, or desires that they want to satisfy. That is value. So when you are able to help people solve their problems or satisfy their desires, what you get, I mean, what you are doing is you are providing value and then you make money from it. So, for example, now someone is sick. You are sick, you go to the hospital, you pay them money, they treat you, they help you get well. That is the value that they are providing. So, or let's say you have a combination of chemicals, or maybe you have a combination of herbs, and these chemicals or these herbs that you have, when they mix it in such in a way, it can treat maybe breast cancer, for example. Let's say it can treat breast cancer. Now that is value because it's solving a problem. Or maybe you have this package, you have this really cool solution that can help people get a second passport. That is value for them. Or you have this way by which businesses can get a lot of customers from TikTok, or they can get so much customers from Snapchat. That also is value, because you are helping them solve a problem, you are helping them satisfy a desire. It is value. So value can come in different ways, but when you boil it down, it just boils down to two things: problems and desires. That's what it boils down to: problems and desires. Desires, people want to get richer, they want to look more beautiful, they want to be happy. All those things are desires. Desires is why people will spend a lot of money to travel, to go and have nice experiences. It's not a problem, you understand? People will fly to, like, maybe Maldives for 10 days, just enjoy themselves. It's not a problem, it's desire. They just want to go there, have nice experiences. That's desire. It's not so much of a problem. Somebody who has four cars, who still goes out there to still go and buy the fifth car, maybe a G Wagon, for example, or maybe the latest cool car in town, so that he can look like really, really big, and then his friends can hail him. It's not a problem, it's desire. So I'm just saying this so that you can actually know what I mean when I say value equals problems, solutions to problems, or you helping people to satisfy desires in their lives. So it's problems and desires. You record it. You you burn this stuff into your brain. Value, problems, and desires. So solutions to problems, or you satisfy people's desires, is what value is all about. So it can come in different ways, in different manners, in different approach. It can come in different ways, but that's basically what it's all about. So when you understand this, you also need to understand that it's not compulsory for you to really be the one with the solution to the problems, or be the one to with the who can help people satisfy their desires. Now, as a live brain cash machine, one of your major advantages, one of the things that you can do that many other people can't do easily, is that you know how to take value and go out there into the marketplace and satisfactorily exchange that value and get people, most especially a large number of people, to pay money for it. Okay, to pay money for it. So for example, there is this lady. She has a concussion that can help women. So this lady has this concussion whereby, if some women have difficulty in getting pregnant, all right, so they have difficulty in getting pregnant due to a particular situation. I won't be talking about what that situation is. So, but this lady has a concussion that works like magic. It works like magic. Her mom taught her how to do that stuff. So it works like magic. And once a lady just begins to use it, once a woman begins to use that concussion for like a month, automatically this concussion just solves that problem of her finding it difficult to get pregnant. And you know what? This woman knows this stuff. She only just shares it with maybe just her close friends, or if somebody just refers someone to her, she will just help you do that stuff. And I got to know about that stuff, and I'm like, why are you not why are you not marketing this stuff? Because this woman needs money. She has this solution. She doesn't know that this solution that she has, that she's playing around with, she doesn't know that this solution is something that can make her a lot of money. Why? Because she doesn't understand how value translates into money. She doesn't understand how to sell. She doesn't understand how to sell to a lot of people, because she sells, the way the concoction works is that I think she sells like a gallon of that stuff for 16,000 naira. Now, it doesn't cost her 3,000 naira to actually produce that stuff. So she produces it for 3k and sells for 16k. That's a profit of 13,000 naira, right? Now, imagine where she can actually sell just 100 a month. If she sells just 100 a month, that's about 1.3 million naira for her. But she doesn't really know what to do to get that 100 sales in a month. But guess what? You, as somebody who is a live breathing cash machine, who knows how to create cash on demand, who knows how to go into the market to get sales, you can approach this kind of people and help them take their solution to the market and get paid for it. So the base skill, I'm not saying this because the base skill of you becoming a live breathing cash machine is knowing how to sell, and not just knowing how to sell, knowing how to sell to a lot of people. That is the base skill of you being a live breathing cash machine. That is what you can use to generate cash on demand, knowing how to sell. So maybe let's just talk about that. So before I go on, I'm just gonna just say, this whole becoming a live breathing cash machine, it's more like a journey. Okay, it's actually a journey. It's not like something that you just start today and then tomorrow is it. I'm still on that journey, right? I'm still on that journey. And why do I say it's a journey? Because the kind of money you can make as somebody who can generate cash on demand, it changes. It changes due to, number one, your mindset. Your mindset gets better. There was a time when I couldn't see further than making 200k in a month. My mind couldn't see further than making 200k in a month. There was a time when my mind couldn't see more than making 1 million naira in a month. There was a time when my mind couldn't see more than making 5 million naira in a month. As a matter of fact, there was a time that I wrote myself a check. I wrote myself a check of 5 million naira. Not like I have the money in the bank. I wrote the check and then I put it in my wallet so that I can be looking at it, so that I can believe that, guy, you can actually write yourself a check of 5 million naira. So there was a time like that. So it's a journey. 20 million naira in a month, 100 million naira in a month, 500 million a month, 1 billion in a month. So this is just a process. So it depends on where you want to get to, right? It depends on where you want to get to. That is what's going to determine how much effort you put into it. But it's a journey. And the thing about any journey is that, where do you start a journey from? You start a journey from where you are right now. That's how you start any journey. Because right now, if literally, if I want to move from Lagos, no, if I want to go to, let's say I want to go to Abuja right now. Where am I right now? I'm in Lagos. I'm in Lekki in Lagos. So how do I go to Abuja? I start from where I am. As a matter of fact, if I should open Google Maps and I say, okay, to Abuja, it's going to actually show me the map to Abuja, but it's going to start from where I am. And that's actually how it goes. You start from where you are, not where somebody else is. Start from where you are. Where is your mentality right now? What kind of skills do you have right now? What kind of knowledge do you have right now? What kind of resources do you have access to right now? So you start from where you are. And when I say where you are, sometimes some people have a lot of things that are slowing them down. Some people have things that are slowing them down, things that are dragging them behind. And if you really want to move forward, you can't afford to allow stuff to keep slowing you down and dragging you behind. So sometimes for you to move forward, for you to go on a journey that you want to go to, you really have to kind of like cut out some things. And those things can even be people. Yeah, they can be people. In fact, in some cases, they can even be part of your family members that are dragging you behind. And then, for the good of everyone, you might just have to just let go and go on your journey first. Because if you don't do that, you won't be able to go to where you want to go, or you will be so bogged down, and these things will slow you down. It's just like when you want to go somewhere and then you have your car packed all full with people and plenty items, and the car is so heavy and you can't even move very fast because of all of this stuff. And the only way for you to actually let go, or move faster, is for you to shed all those extra weights. Just remove all those stuff. For some people, the extra weight for them is bogus information, all this useless information that they've over the years that they have in their head. That is what is affecting them. So if as long as you continue to have all those useless information in your head, it's not going to allow you to move ahead. So when I was in school, I remember clearly there was one of my lecturers, and there was this day the guy was telling us in class that one of the worst things that somebody can do is to go and start a business. You won't believe it. He said, why would you start a business? He said, for those of them who are workers, in fact, he even said for those of them who are lecturers, he said they can go on strike. So they said they can go on strike for 3 months, and when they go on strike for 3 months, they will still get paid. But he said for somebody who goes to start a business, he's going to take up risks. The business might not work for him. He might lose money. Even made an example of somebody who wanted to start a poultry business, and the chickens got a disease and they all died, and the guy now had all this plenty debt to pay. And this was him actually trying to prove to himself or preach to himself that having a business is a terrible idea. So, and this our lecturer, was sharing this his stupid belief system with us. Now you can imagine people who listen to all that kind of rubbish all day long. What do you think is gonna happen to them when the time comes for them to really do something like start a business and stuff? It affects them. They can't really do what they want to do because this bogus and negative information knowledge is dragging them down. They can't do what they are supposed to do. So that's why for many people, the number one thing that they have to do is to just let go, is to unlearn a lot of things, is to unlearn a lot of useless stuff. Right now, there are a lot of people who still believe that when it comes to the internet, they believe that the internet is all about pornography and scams. There are people who, when their basic knowledge of the internet is pornography and scams. It's going to be difficult for them to go on a journey to make money online unless they let go of that rubbish beliefs that they have. So I'm just saying that so that you can understand that turning yourself into a life breathing cash machine is a journey. And the journey starts from where you are at the moment. Where you are at the moment, you gather enough energy with desire. Desire is what gives you the energy to go. It's what fuels you. Now, your desire is your fuel. Is what is your gasoline that fuels you to go on that journey. But even though you have that gasoline, even though you have that burning desire, you still have to let go of things that will drag you behind. All this negative energy, all this bad belly, all these useless Nigerian ideologies and beliefs that you've accumulated over the years. You have to let them go. Now, you might not be able to let everything go immediately, but begin to let them go. one after the other. Begin to expose yourself to new information. Begin to expose yourself to valuable, good information. And thank God, if you are on this space right now, that's basically what you are doing. You are exposing yourself to useful information, inspiring information, transforming information that can help you get rid of all of this ideal of this negative stuff that you have accumulated all over the years. So that's that. So let's quickly talk about briefly about selling, because like I said earlier, the master skill that is eventually going to help you become a life building cash machine is you being able to sell. Is you being able to sell. Now, I'm not going to quickly chip something in. No, I talked about value and on stuff. Now, sometimes you have to be careful. Sometimes there are some type of value that might not really be able to translate to a big amount of money, because time time is involved in delivering such values. So let me explain what I mean. For example, now let's say the value you want to deliver is barbing. You want to be barbing people's hair and getting paid. Let's say that's the value you want to do. Now, barbing requires time. Maybe it will take you like maybe 45 minutes or 30 minutes to barb one person. So what that means is that even if you have 100 people coming to you to barb, boy, you can't barb you can't barb all of those people in 24 hours, because the time won't allow you to do that. So what you can do in that kind of a situation is to leverage on other people's efforts. Because now, instead of just only you barbing, well, if you now have like 5 people or 10 people who are barbing, it means that you cannot divide that workload and you cannot get it done. So it usually affects people who provide services as their own form of value, because usually services require time and effort, which is actually why I prefer products. I like products. And I like products because you can make a product once, you can create a product once, and you can keep selling it. Especially even if the product is even like a digital product. Oh, sweet. It means that you can actually have this product that you created once and it's online, and then it's just the internet is helping you to deliver it to people and over and over and over without your direct time involvement. It just makes things better and faster that way. Because if I create, let's say I created a software now, and people are downloading my software and they are buying my software, I don't really have to be there with you to sell you the software. Just buy the software from all over the world, and they just do whatever they want to do with it. And that is why, thank God for the internet. Whoa. Yesterday I talked about how the internet and marketing changed my life. Thank God for the internet, because it's so amazing that with the internet we are just so blessed. Brian Tracy will say that those of us who are living right now, we are the one that we are so lucky that we are living in the best ever time since the world since human beings began to exist. We are living in the best time ever, because check this out. Somebody who is right here in Nigeria or somewhere anywhere in the world can sell to people all over the world without you even seeing them, without you even knowing their name, without you even hearing their voice. You can sell to people all over the world, and these are the things that even make cash on demand, or you becoming a live building cash machine, easier these days. Now, I'm not saying you that without the internet you can't become a live building cash machine. Okay, that's not what I'm saying, because there were so many people who did what they had to do before the internet. But I'm just saying that with the internet as a tool, there is no reason why you can't take advantage of this huge tool called the internet and basically use it to transform your life. Use it to transform your finances. All right. So I'm just gonna be faster right now because time is so against me. There are so many things I want to talk about, but I'll just have to fast forward. There is a fast forward. I've talked about bad information, good information, letting go of all of that stuff. So I just want to talk right now about selling. I'm going to talk about selling. So when it comes to selling, number one, many people have this bad idea about selling. I one of the bad ideas that people have about selling is that many people think selling is something that number one is inferior, or they think that selling is something that is negative. And it's so funny how people think this way because people sell all the time. Like when you're trying to get a job and then you write it and then you have your CV and then you go for a job interview, what exactly do you think you were trying to do then? You are trying to sell yourself. You are trying to say, oh, you know what, I can deliver this value to you. That's basically what you are trying to do when you send out your CV, when you go for a job interview, you are trying to sell. People are always trying, people are always selling. When a guy is trying to get a lady, a woman to marry him, he is selling. You are selling yourself, not just to marry you. When you are trying to toast the girl, it's selling, it's sales. People are always selling. But it's funny that people don't take the time to slow down and master this skill of selling. Because it's so funny how your life changes when you begin to master sales. Sales just cuts across life. Like sales cuts across because every point in time you are trying to sell your ideas. You are selling your ideas, you are selling your thoughts to people, you are selling your products, you are selling different things to people. So why don't you just sit down, slow down, and learn how to sell? Okay? And learn how to sell. So over the years, I have invested, I don't even know how many hours or how much amount of money that I have invested in learning how to sell. I am still doing it. It's a lifelong, for me, learning how to sell is a lifelong stuff that I will keep doing. That I'm going to keep doing. So let's talk about um, the first thing I tell you when it comes to selling is you have to understand people. That's basically the first thing. You have to understand because who are you trying to sell to? It's people, like human beings like you. So if you don't really understand these human beings, then how on earth do you think you are going to be able to sell to them? So I tell people something. One of the things that I learned earlier in life is try to think like no. In let me just put it this way. In Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, I learned something really cool right there. He said when you go out to catch, when you go out for fishing, when you go out for fishing, you don't think like you don't try and use what you like. You try and think like the fish. You try and use what the fish likes to catch the fish. So basically, what it means is that if you don't have an understanding of the fish, there's no way you're going to be able to come up with what you are going to be using to catch the fish. And that is where selling comes from. It comes from understanding people, understanding human beings like you, understanding their wants, their desires. Why do they want to spend money? One of the things I used to think about is this. When you go out and then you see all these beggars who are looking for money and all that. So now these beggars they need money, right? They need money. But you know what? I will see people, especially people who are rich, they will give the beggar like maybe 20 naira, or give the beggar like maybe 15 naira. Now, that same guy who gave beggars who need money 20 naira, 15 naira, that same guy later in the night, when you meet him, maybe in a club or something, this guy is spending as much as 300,000 naira on a bottle of drink, or maybe a champagne, a bottle of champagne. He's spending 300k on a champagne, but over there, he is giving 20 naira, 15 naira to people who are poor, who need money. So why? Why? Like, why? Well, it's simple. It all falls back to what I talked about earlier: value. For that person, for poor people, what value? What value are they offering? Zero value. That's it. Zero value. And that is why this guy, when he goes to the club and then he's buying his bottle of champagne, the bottle of champagne is giving him value. Maybe he's going with his friends and then he wants to look big, and then he wants to enjoy all that emotional value that is attached to it. He is paying 300k for that. Now, the people who are operating the club, or the people who produce the champagne, they understand human beings. They understand how human beings think. They understand that human beings, we are emotional in nature, and that's what they do. So they tap into that emotional part of it, of us. Same thing happens to when a guy goes out to buy a an expensive car, like maybe a Ferrari and stuff, so that he can drive around. Now, when you go out and you go and spend 50 million or 100 million to buy a Ferrari, you are not spending that money because you want to move from Lekki to Ikoyi. That's not why you are spending 50 million or 100 million on a Ferrari. You are spending that money on the Ferrari because when you are driving the Ferrari across town, you want to look cool, you want to feel important. You want people to be asking, who is that guy? Who is that guy over there? Now, the guys who manufactured and who market the Ferrari, they understand these things. They understand human beings. They understand emotions. So that is where selling starts from. So now I'll just be giving you just tips and pieces over here with selling, because selling is like big stuff. And the reason why I'm doing it again is because all money is made by somebody selling something to somebody else. All money. Okay? All money is made by somebody selling something to somebody else. Burn that into your brain. I learned it from Gary Herbert in one of his newsletters. All money is made by somebody selling something to somebody else. So if you look at that statement, you're going to see it's somebody selling something. To who? To somebody else. Right? That's it. We all sell stuff. So this is which is why we have to focus on making money, because the amount of money you are able to make as a live breathing cash machine, it depends on, number one, your mindset, how big your mindset is, how big money your mind can actually attract. But apart from that, it's the amount of money you can make as a live breathing cash machine now also has to do with what you are selling. Then number three, it has to do with how good you can sell that stuff. That's just basically what it's all about. Your mentality, your mindset, what you are selling, how good how effective you are at selling whatever it is that you are selling. So that's what it all boils down to. Now, when I talked about you learning about people, one of the things you also want to know about learning about people is that what do people buy? Because sometimes people say, what do I sell? What do I sell? What do I sell? Well, number one, I've told you that you want to sell stuff that has to do with problems people want to solve, desires they want to satisfy, right? I've talked about that stuff. But then you also want to be on the lookout for the things that people really spend money on. Now, sometimes people spend money on things that don't even have meaning. That just be wondering why is somebody spending money on this stuff? But see, it doesn't matter. People just spend money on what they want to spend money on. That's just it. That's just the long story of it. So it's not for you to start asking and trying to do research on why they are doing it. People just do what they do. And if you want to become a live bringing cash machine and operate as a live bringing cash machine, you just need to understand and tap into that knowledge. So, for example, someone is buying a bottle of drink for 700k. Is going to finish that bottle of drink in the next 30 minutes, and you'll be wondering, why would somebody spend 700k on a bottle of drink? Why? And then some people will get so agitated and angry and annoyed and will be like, with the way this country is, blah blah blah, this and that. As a live reading cash machine, you don't think that way. What you should be thinking is how you can tap into that stuff. That's what you should be thinking about. So if people are spending 700k on drinks, it's because they have the money to spend, and it's because they want to spend it on the drinks. Because nobody is putting a gun on their head and say, "Oh, you've got to buy that drink for 700k, or else I'm going to blast your head." Nobody is doing that. They are pulling the money out of their pocket, laughing, enjoying themselves, and paying it. You understand? So let me just chip this in. I think one of the things you should do if you really want to become a live building cash machine, which is part of knowing people, learning about people, is go out. Just go out a lot. When you go out a lot, you expose yourself to the various things that people do. And when I say go out a lot, I'm not saying going out to where poor people are or where they stay. Go out to where people who are spending money. Go out to where they go to see how they do the stuff that they do. Just let all these things sink into your mind. Go to where they shop. Just go and see it. There was time I was in the shop where they were selling jewelries and wristwatches, and right there before my eyes, I saw one guy coming. This guy came in, and then he came into that shop with two girls, and these people purchased wristwatches. I think they purchased like 12 wristwatches, not for sale. The wristwatches were for use by them, and they purchased 12 wristwatches amounting to like 20 million. Like right before my eyes, they bought, and I was there, and I was just looking at them like, what? Like, but you know what? Somebody else would be so annoyed and will be thinking of all the problems in Nigeria and the problems in his family. And see, this is just what people just want to do. They just want to spend their money, and your own what you should be doing is you should be observing what people are buying. Gary Halbert in his book called Boron Letters, which is where he was. Boron Letters by Gary Halbert is the book he wrote where he was teaching his child on how to become a knowledge machine. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. Boron Letters. You can find it. I think it's free online. You can just find it online, or you can buy the printed version on Amazon. Boron Letters. Boron Letters is actually Gary Halbert writing series to his son Bond, and teaching the guy how to become a live reading cash machine. Although he was teaching him using basically old school methods, pretty the same. And one of the things Gary Herbert taught Bond in that stuff is that he said, Gary Herbert says, you have to become a student of markets. Now, just to break it down for you or explain what it means, he was just saying that you have to begin to study what people are buying, what people are spending their money on. You have to begin, not what they say they will spend their money on. You have to actually be looking at what they are spending their money on, because there's a difference between what people say they would like to spend their money on and what they are actually spending their money on. There is a difference between it, because what people sometimes people just say stuff to look good, or to so that they can look like a cool person, or so that they can look like a good person. So it's just like there's this example that that I always make. So I would say that if you take a Bible, if you take a Bible and then you ask people that do they read their Bibles and stuff, majority of people will say yeah, that they read their Bibles and stuff. But really, most people don't read their Bibles. As a matter of fact, most people actually spend more of their time on social media than read their Bible. But if you ask them, they'll probably tell you that, oh, they read their Bibles, which is actually like a lie. So that's why when it comes to studying people, you don't want to be asking all these kind of questions from them. Instead, you want to be studying their behavior. You want to be studying exactly what they do. So because for example now, I really enjoy myself on Twitter, because people come on Twitter and then they talk about all sorts of ideas and ideologies and things that don't really things that don't really matter in the real world. You understand? People come on Twitter and then they talk about and then they abuse some stuff. But when you now actually go into the real world, you will see that you now be wondering who are the people who are now doing all these things that Twitter people who have just been bastardizing and stuff. Because people like to have this good image of themselves, like, oh, I'm this cool person, I support this cool ideology, I support all that stuff. But when you really look at what they are doing, you're going to see that what they are doing is different from what they talk about. It's just like another example that I use is pornography. People who visit porn sites. So if you go on Twitter, for example, and ask people, oh, do you visit porn site? Have you or have you visited a porn site before? Majority of people are going to say never. I have never been to a porn site before. Blah blah blah. But from the statistics, that porn sites actually send, because I have a friend who used to advertise on porn sites back then in 2018. They said from Nigeria alone they were getting about 40 million visits a month from Nigeria. So the question now is that who are the 40 million people who were visiting the porn sites? Because people won't say it, they won't talk about they visiting porn site, they won't. But at the end of the day, it's what they do. Now, I'm just saying all of this stuff because when it comes to selling, we've got to really understand people. We've got to understand their buying behaviors. We've got to understand what are they buying, why are they buying it. Now, important, why are they buying the stuff that they are buying? So these are the things that help you to become a live breeding cash machine, and that is why I made it. I dropped one tweet on my world on Twitter this afternoon, and I said copywriting is a fantastic skill that I think everybody, well, not everybody, sure, but everybody who wants to turn themselves into a live reading cash machine should practice or should learn about. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go and become a copywriter. I'm not saying you have to go and become a master, somebody who does copywriting for a living. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that you need to, if you get a basic understanding of copywriting, copywriting is all about, number one, it's all about communication. Then it's about understanding people. Then it's about understanding emotional stuff. Why do people buy? What triggers? What are the things that triggers them to buy? How do you get them to buy stuff? So that's what copywriting is all about. And if you should learn copywriting. I can guarantee you that you are going to always be able to know to generate money on demand if you learn copywriting. Now, except you are the kind of person who is not focused. So because if you know copywriting and then you are not focused and then you have all these bad habits dragging you behind, then the copywriting might not really matter, because copywriting as a skill does not make up for all the other bad habits and all the other poor mindset and all these other things that could affect you. But when you learn copywriting and then you have a good mindset and then you are the kind of focused person, copywriting is going to really really help you. With copywriting, you can basically generate cash on demand in different markets in any part of the world. Is it in the real estate? The other day I met one guy in Ibadan. I met one of my Twitter followers in Ibadan. The guy told me that he's a copywriter, and I asked him, copywriting, what kind of copy do you write? The guy says he writes that he has been writing copy for politicians. Like, this guy writes copy that all these politicians can use for their campaigns. Can you just imagine that? So he is not even like writing copy for products and stuff for sale online. He is writing copy for politicians. And it even reminds me, there's a friend of mine during this last campaign, the last election. During the last election, this guy was the one, a particular I think it was PDP that hired him. PDP hired him to help them write advert and content for some of their campaigns, and he made so much money doing that for PDP. So I'm just chipping that one in because copywriting is just this really fantastic skill that once you learn it, it just helps you in different areas of your life, because it's basically about persuasion, communication. It helps you. So it helps you to sell. It helps you to understand people. It helps you to sell. It helps you to understand people. It helps you to make money. So copywriting is something, is a skill that I'm going to recommend, because when we talk about selling, I think copywriting is actually going to help you. It's going to help your selling skills. So just enroll for. You can buy books. There are books on copywriting that you can buy. Let me see if I can recommend some. So number one, I will recommend there is this book by Dan Kennedy. I think it calls it the Ultimate Sales Letter. Yeah, I think it's Ultimate Sales Letter. And there's this book too by why am I forgetting the name of these books? I'll just post it. Okay, you know what? I'll just post a list on my Twitter page. I'm going to post a list of my recommendations on copywriting on my Twitter page. You can just check them. So you can just check them for, and then you can buy any of the books, or if you want to buy all of them and just read these books, practice copywriting. Copywriting just, I don't even know how to even like explain it so that it don't look as if I'm hyping the skill, but copywriting is going to change your life. I have never seen anyone ever who learned copywriting and they said, "Oh, I regret it." Because see, when you learn copywriting just opens is to how you can make. Because all of a sudden you now even discover and understand how to sell different things. So things that normal day you won't even have any idea of, or some things that you would even see and you won't even know how to turn them into money. Copywriting just opens up that part of your brain that now helps you to now see ideas, see opportunities, see angles of presenting things. So it just helps you to sell. Whatever you want to sell, is it you want to sell your ideas to people, or you want to sell, or you want to get clients, or is it that you want to sell your own products or your own services, or is it that you want to even be an affiliate for other people's products? Copywriting just helps you. Okay, so it's almost 2 hours now that I've been talking, and I think I've actually said quite a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to round off my plenty talk now. Round of my plenty talk right now. So what should I talk about? Let me just look through my jots. What I jotted down right here. Okay. So let me just in Wolf of Wall Street. In Wolf of Wall Street, I don't know if you've watched that movie. It's a fantastic movie. So, and I think you should watch the movie, and I think better still you should even buy the book by Jordan Belfort. So Jordan Belfort is the guy whose story was um that Wolf of Wall Street was all about the story. So in Wolf of Wall Street, there was this scene where DiCaprio said took a pen because he was the one who acted Jordan Belfort, and he said, "Sell me this pen." He gave it to one of his guys. He said, "Sell me this pen." So people have talked about that scene over and over and over. I'm like, okay, what should be the right answer? Sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. And really, if I were to like give you, if I were to like give you 10 um 10 phones, for example, if I were to like give you 10 iPhones to sell, it will probably be easier for you to sell the 10 iPhones because there is already demand for it. Okay, people are already looking for iPhones. They want to buy iPhones, especially if it comes at a good price. There is demand for it. Now, when DiCaprio was saying, "Sell me this pen," the guy who eventually answered him did something whereby he told somebody, said, "Sign this check or something." And the guy now said, "Oh, I need a pen." And then he said, "That's it. Demand and supply." So, demand and supply, selling. Why do people buy stuff? So, when there is a demand for something, it's easier for you to sell that thing. And one of the things that learning how to sell and copywriting does for you is that these things just they just help you sometimes to even create demand in markets where there are no demands, or in markets where there is demand. They help you to tap into the demand that exists already in those markets. All right. So, and now with the internet, you can basically set up a sales system for whatever it is that you are selling that can just reach as many people all over the world, depending on how much money you have to spend on advertising. Because when it comes to selling, I tell people, especially for live bidding cash machine purposes, it's about three things. Number one is direct response. So direct response is about you being able to sell to people directly, which is what the internet helps us to do. Then copywriting, I've talked about copywriting. Then the third one will now be advertising. Because with advertising, we can now reach out to many people, especially over the internet. These days, the old mediums, the old ways of advertising, they are dying. Back in the day, if you want to advertise, you have to do newspaper adverts, magazine adverts, radio jingles, TV ads, and then those kind of things. But these days, you can advertise without doing any. You can advertise and reach massive numbers of people without doing radio jingles, without doing TV ads, without doing magazine ads. Or I mean, how many people even read newspapers or or printed magazines these days? So you will probably get a better ROI for your money when you go online. Because when you go online and then we go to a place like YouTube, oh, millions of people watch videos on YouTube from Nigeria. Or when we go to Facebook, oh, millions of Nigerians are on Facebook or TikTok or Snapchat or Twitter or Instagram or any of these places. We have many people who are in there. So advertise. So we cannot go into these places and take that value that you want to exchange for money, and we use our copywriting to create a message. It might be in form of video or text or whatever, and then we can now advertise it to as many people as possible. All right. So that's basically, now I'm talking about just even the practical step now of even generating cash on demand. Because with generating cash on demand, what you are just doing is that we are just basically thinking, oh, what can you sell? What do people want? What do people want to buy? And then you just come up with something. If it's a product that you can sell, if it's not a product that you can sell. I was talking with somebody recently, and he was telling me that one of the ways he made millions of naira in the previous years was that he was selling this so apparently there is this shoe that for people who are not tall, well, for people who are not tall, there is this shoe that they can wear, and then the shoe has this lift in it. So the lift is not so obvious when you are looking at the shoe from outside, but when they wear the shoe, this shoe actually like lifts you up, so it makes you look some inches taller. And then this guy basically got a company from China that was supplying these shoes, and he created a store around it, and he was selling the shoes to people who wanted to look taller, and he made millions of naira selling those shoes. Why? Well, he was solving a problem, because the problem was that these people want to look taller. Now, if he was able to actually give them a solution that would make them actually be taller, that would have been preferable. But you can't make anybody taller. Once people reach a particular age, they can't grow taller. So, but at that point, what you can do for them is that you can help them with something that makes them look taller, which is actually no big deal. Women wear heels all the time because heels make them look taller. It makes them look sexier and stuff. And that's basically what this guy was doing. He was solving a problem for a lot of men that makes them look taller, and he created a store for it. And third, advertising. He was advertising it massively via Facebook, via Instagram, via TikTok, and he made millions of naira doing that. So that's just how streamlined it can be. Now he can do that stuff over and over. That's not the only store he has. He has other stores, and what he just does is that he just does a rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Find the market with problems to solve. Help them solve the problem as close as you can help them solve it. Create a store for it. Advertise. For him, that's a system. Now, when it's come to you generating cash on demand, that's the system too as well. Now, you don't actually have to sell physical products. You can sell physical products or sell digital products or sell services. It doesn't really matter what you are selling, as long as what you are selling is something is um that is fulfilling the purpose of satisfying people's desires or helping them solve a problem. And then you are able to come up with messages and adverts using your copywriting skill, and you are able to advertise. Now you might be thinking, why do I need to learn copywriting? Why don't I just find somebody who can do copywriting and stuff? Now, good, it's good for you to actually sometimes you actually want to hire somebody who can help you with the copywriting, but even at then, it's good for you to have that basic skill. That basic skill still helps. You understand? It still helps. It helps you to do a lot of things. So sometimes you might want to hire somebody to help you out, which is cool, but having that basic skill still helps. So that's good about selling. Know about direct response, which is basically understanding people, understanding markets, how markets work. Learn copywriting, and then learn advertising. Okay, learn advertising, or if you can't learn advertising, well, you can always hire somebody. You can always find people who can help you with advertising. So, but the reason why we call this thing you becoming a live building cash machine is that even if you don't have anybody to help you, all right, because for me now, I can set up a fully blown campaign on any market from anywhere in the world without extra help from people. I can do all of that stuff. I can basically wake up tomorrow morning and go into a market, a new market, and set up a new structure, a new business structure, set up advertising for it, set up funnels for it, campaigns for it from scratch, and do all of that stuff all by myself. Like I can do it. So, and the reason is because sometimes you might want to get something done very, very fast, and the people that might want to help you, they might not be on ground, or they might be busy, or they might be sick, and all those kind of stuff, because they are human beings too. So, but then, does it now mean that you want to generate your cash on demand? Does it now mean that you are going to be stuck? No, you can't be stuck because you have the skills. You can't be stuck because you've acquired the skills, you've polished the skills. And that is why I said it's a it's a process, it's a journey. Okay. So what I can do, many of the things that I can do right now, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I couldn't do them. But even at those 10 years ago, I was still making money. I was still generating money as a live breathing cash machine. Just that I was generating the amount of money that was equivalent to the amount of skills and mindset that I had at that time. So, but what I do now, right now, is definitely going to be higher and different, because over the years I have now developed, I have now improved, I have now added new skills. My mentality and my mindset has increased. So, but then you just start from somewhere. So that's it, guys. I'm just going to just say again, it's a journey. Turning yourself into a live breathing cash machine, it's a journey, but it's a journey that is, you won't get stranded. Yeah, you won't get stranded, and it's an enjoyable journey. It's an enjoyable journey because it's as you go ahead, you are making money. All right, as you are going ahead, you are making money. So as you are making the money, you are using the money to fund your lifestyle, enjoy yourself. You are using part of the money to work on your skills, work on yourself, improve your skills, do some networking. That's basically how it works. So maybe right now, all you can do is make 200K a month. No problem. You make your 200K a month. You enjoy your life. You work on your mindset. You buy books. You buy some courses that can help. Then maybe next year you are now like 500K. Based on what you can do, again, you are working on yourself, you are enjoying your life, you are building your business, you are building your mentality, you are building your knowledge, you are building your sales skills, you are doing that stuff. So you are going on this journey, and then you are enjoying yourself, you are helping people, and then you are living life. Okay, so it's an enjoyable journey. So, but the main thing is that you just start from where you are. All right, so that's it so far, and I think you guys have actually enjoyed and learned one or two things that you can put into use that can help you to become a live breathing cash machine. So I would just like to just say this: I majority of what I have said tonight, you can read about it in my book. So I have a book called How to Turn Yourself into a Live Breathing Cash Machine. I have a book called How to Turn Yourself into a Live Breathing Cash Machine. I wrote the book in 2014, and the information in it is still valuable, and it's still going to be valuable 5 years, 10 years from now. So if you want to get the book, it's just a book that is so low priced, and it comes with plenty bonuses. You can buy the book at, just go to tonyisbook.com. Tonyisbook.com. That is TOYINS book.com. So just go to tonyisbook.com. You can buy How to Turn Yourself into a Live Reading Cash Machine from tonyisbook.com and read more about everything I've talked about. Read more about how to work on your mindset. I didn't talk about some things, so but then you're gonna get many of those stuff from the book. Then when you get that book too as well, you're gonna get some other bonuses. You're gonna get a book that's about how to write sales letters and adverts that will make you rich. It's about copywriting actually. You're gonna get a report on that. It's about 50 pages that's gonna help you. So just go to tonysbook.com and buy the book. All right, I think you guys have gotten value from this space. I'm going to stop right now. I've talked too much. So, Emmanuel, please, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so do I have any questions that I have to respond to?
Okay, just few. Let me take them. Okay, someone was asking, what does it take to be mentored by you on how to make money?
Hello, I can't hear. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, what does it take to be mentored by Toyin on matters of making money online?
I don't have a mentorship program, and the reason why I don't have a mentorship program is because I don't receive students. What I do is that I pick students. That's what I do. So before I can say I want to mentor you, there must have been something that you are doing that I can now take you and then pick you up from there. So what I tell people is that if you are saying how do you become mentored by Tony? Well, go and buy my book, go and buy my book, buy some of my online courses, go through them, buy other books from people, go through all of those things, begin to do something. So once you are doing something here, we can pick it up from there. But really, I don't actually have like a mentorship program where I can say, okay, people should come and join. Right now, I don't have anything like that. So, but what I do is that from time to time, when I see somebody who is doing pretty well, someone who is serious, someone who is actually putting effort, I can take them and then I can help them. So that's basically what I do.
Okay, second question. How can a salesman selling fast moving consumer goods like toothpaste, sugar, etc. sell his product online? Did you hear that?
No.
Okay. How can a salesman selling fast moving consumer goods, e.g., toothpaste, sugar, etc., sell his product online?
How can he do what? I didn't hear the last part.
How sell his product online? Like someone who sells a fast moving consumer goods.
No, 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 no. You don't do stuff that way. The reason why you don't do stuff that way is that now I've talked about selling. I've talked about selling. I've talked about behavior. Observe people's behavior. Now, when people are buying things like toothpaste and sugar and stuff, where did they buy it from? They go to a store and they buy it from, and they buy it from stores, from shops. So you can't say you want to bring it online. You understand? It is not going to work. So you can't say you want to bring it online because people prefer to actually buy. What you can do is that if you have a store and then people can actually shop from your store online. So that's what can work. You have a store and then people can and then you cannot deliver to them. But you also have to understand that these things are just commodities. You understand? They are commodities. Things like sugar, bread, all this indomie, all this things I talked about, they are commodities. Commodities means that oh, 110,000 other people are selling them. So what it means is that if, let's say, your shop now or your online store, after I buy stuff from there, it might take you one day to ship to my place. It might require all this plenty delivery stuff. Why would I go and buy from you when I actually have a shop like downstairs, or when I have a shop at the gate of my estate where I can just go to and buy the stuff from there? So, as a matter of fact, if you want to become a live trading cash machine, you shouldn't be trading in commodities, because you shouldn't be trading in commodities. With commodities, you can't generate cash on demand. That's just the truth. They can make you money, over time, but you can't generate cash because number one, it's difficult to compete. I mean, well, I find difficult. It's you have a lot of people to compete with, so it's not the kind of stuff you want to do if you want to generate cash on demand. So you can be doing it as your normal business, but it's not part of what I'm going to recommend for somebody who is going to become a live reading cash machine. You shouldn't be looking at commodities. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but if you are going to do commodities, then what you should do is you'll have to create a brand. You have to create a brand, something that sets you apart. That's maybe because of your way of delivering stuff to people, or because of your way of attending to customers, something that sets you apart. So that's just like a different ball game entirely. All right. Okay, so that's it.
Okay. If I join Expertnaire, do I provide the goods I sell myself?
If I do what?
Yes. If I join Expertnaire, do I provide the goods I sell? Like, is he going to be the one providing the goods he wants to sell?
You are breaking. You are breaking. I'm just hearing like a few of the words you are saying. I'm not hearing everything you are saying.
Okay.
If he joins Expatriate, will he do what?
Is it going to be the one to provide the products that he will be selling?
What I'll just see is that the person asking the question doesn't really know what Expatriate means. So just go to expertnaire.com and read and go and get more information about how expertnaire.com works. So just go to expertnaire.com and go and read about it. You would have a better understanding of what the system is all about.
Okay, someone is
So is
asking.
that everything?
I know that there are more, and I don't know if you'll be able to take everything, but I think I'll just keep some and then just take the important ones. Is that fine?
Someone is asking what?
He said, how can he create an online store?
How you can create an online store? Go to google.com, search for how to create an online store, and then try and see if you can get information about that. Because I can't really talk about how you can create an online store on a space. It's not possible. And I can't talk about it for 1 minute or 2 minutes. It's a different thing entirely. It's like me. It's like you asking me, how do you create a cement factory? So just go to Google and then type in how to create an online store. I believe you're going to see some helpful information on how to do that. Or you can go to Udemy. You can go to Udemy and search for how to create an online store. You are going to see some courses that can help you with creating an online store from there. Yeah.
Okay, someone is asking. He said, I'm a pastor and I want to sell products. I want to sell a product in the sexual markets. How do I go about it?
How do I do what?
Like, how does it sell products in the how does it sell sexual products like sexual enhancers, sex enhancers?
Uh-huh. So what is the problem?
He said he's a pastor, so how does he go about it?
Uh, if he's not basically, I think what the person is talking about is the person is actually having all this mind game. So if you don't feel okay in your mind about selling sexual stuff, then just go and find something else to sell. Because the way I see sexual stuff is I see them as, especially if what you are selling works, I don't see it as anything out of the ordinary. But of course, here in Nigeria, people have all these funny ways when it comes to sexual products. So if you don't really feel okay with selling the sexual products, I will advise you to just go and find something else to sell, because it's just as simple as that. So, but really, if you have something that works and it's a sexual product, it's something that is going to help many people to get rid of their problems and become happier. And if you think that you being a pastor won't make you do that conveniently, then just or find a partner. You can find a partner, and then just route it through the partner. so that the partner would be the one actually kind of like selling it. You can do something like that. You can find a partner, and then the partner would be the one that is actually pushing it. That is, if you don't really want your name to be attached to the business. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that's the last question. The ones that are relevant. The other ones are just minor questions. So yeah.
Okay, so I have 9 requests. Hey, I have 9 requests. People who want to speak, who and who now? Oh,
Uh
they've disappeared.
I can see them here. Should I grant them? I have Ugochi Paul. I have Okwe King of Marketing. Should I grant them access one after the other? More they've increased
You
though.
can do it one by one.
Okay, Ugochi Paul. Ugochi Paul. Ugochi Paul. Joseph. Okwe King. Okwe King. Okay. Wilfred Enudi. Wilfred Enudi. Mark.
Hi.
Yeah, hello, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, okay, how you doing?
Okay, Okwe, you can go ahead.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah, we
can hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, all right. Good evening. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I really gained a lot of value. So my question is this: you spoke about businesses that we can help with our skills. Businesses that are struggling, they have good products, but they don't know their way around such how to advertise their products and stuff. So my question is this: how do I find businesses to help with my skills? And what is the best place to find them? And also, should I work for free in order to gain their trust and then later retain them as a client? Those are my questions, sir.
Okay. Businesses that are struggling now. When it comes to finding businesses that are struggling with sales and who need help, now you want to go after. What I advise people to do is that you really want to go after businesses that are making an effort to to really get sales. So that's it. You want to go after businesses that are making an effort. And how do you know that these businesses are making an effort? Well, you are going to see that they would be trying to do some marketing of their own. So probably they will be trying to advertise and do some other things like that. So what I do is that for me now, I am into digital marketing. So what I would do is I would just spread my tentacles. I would be on YouTube watching videos because I know that if I'm on YouTube, I'm going to see ads. I'm going to see businesses running ads, right? On Facebook, I would like different pages so that I can be seeing adverts from different people. I would or same thing on Instagram. Now, what I would be doing here is that I would just be looking at businesses that are running advertising that needs improvements. So, because the thing is that these people they are already spending money, right? Just that they are not doing stuff effectively, and because I know how they can do things more effectively and make more money, all I have to do is to just now use that opportunity to tell them what I can do. Now, it is better when you already have a sample. It's better when you already have a sample of what you can help them do. Because, for example, now let's say what I'm doing is I'm offering a web design service. So, and I see an ad from a company, and then I go and check out their website, and I can see that their website needs a lot of improvement. and I can help them improve their websites. So if I'm approaching them, it is better that I approach them with samples of what I have done. I can show them, oh, guys, you know what? I can help your websites. I can help you design a website that looks better, and this is how it's going to look based on all these past jobs that I have done. I can show them different things that I've done. Or if what I want to help them do is that I want to help them with their Facebook ads or YouTube ads. I can tell them that, okay, you know what, we've helped, or I have helped all these other clients before, and these are the things that I help them to do. And I can actually show them maybe some videos or some feedback from some of our from some of the guys that we've helped before, and then I'm going to do stuff like that. But in the kind of scenario where you don't have any portfolio, where you don't have anything whatsoever to show, well, that is actually where you can do stuff for free for some people. You understand? Now, when you are doing stuff for free, you can actually do stuff for free just to have something to show. It's like the best method that you can use. So because now, in fact, in this case, you can even look at some of your friends who have businesses, and just tell them, okay, you know what, I can help you do something, and in return, when it works, in return, you're going to help me with feedback. So you can do that stuff for maybe like 3, 5, 10 people, depending on you, and then you get feedback from them, and then you can now use this feedback that you have to now look for clients, because now you can now actually show clients, oh, look at the people that we've helped, see what they are saying, and then you can now use that one to get the trust of people. Because if you come to me, for example, and then you are telling me that, oh, I can help you design your websites and make it, I'm going to ask you, what have you done? Let me see what you have. Let me see what you've done before. If you come to me and then you say, oh, I can help you improve your marketing process, or can help you run better Facebook ads, I'm going to ask you, who and who have you helped before? That's what I'm going to ask, because I'm not just going to pay you money without having any proof of what you can do. I'm going to pay you money before, because I can have, because I see that, okay, really, you can do this stuff and then you can do this stuff. So if you don't have any portfolio or any clients, the best thing you can do is try to work for free and then just do some things for people and then get some feedback from them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Mark, you can go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to appreciate this session. I've really learned a lot, even though I joined in a bit late. My question is, how do you validate like an idea when you want to use organic marketing? Like you have an idea you want to test out with the market, or maybe you don't have so much money to run a lot of ads. So how do you validate that idea using organic marketing strategies?
Okay. When it comes to validate, really, the truth is that when it comes to validating an idea, the best thing you can do is to actually run ads to
Okay.
validate it. And the good thing is that you don't really need a lot of money to validate an idea, because all you are doing is validating an idea. So you don't really need a lot of money, because these days you don't need a lot of money to really run advertising. Like I said before, today we don't have to go and run a full page ad in a newspaper, or go and pay plenty money to TV to do stuff. What we can do is that we can go to a place like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or any of these places where we can basically spend a small amount of money. For example, just spend like $100 and use that $100 to actually see if this idea is something that people are responding to. So, and if people respond to it, then you can now basically because with, for example, now with $100, you can reach more than 10,000 or 20,000 people, depending on the platform, and that is enough to actually let you know that this idea is something that can work. So it's something that I do all the time, especially with e-commerce. When I see a product, for example, that I like, and I'm thinking, okay, I think this product can actually work. Before I go ahead and spend more effort or spend more time or money on it, I will just run ads on it. I'll just use Facebook or Instagram or YouTube to run adverts and promote it and see if it works. So, and this is actually usually under $100. So that's the fastest way for you to do it. I won't advise you to go organically, because the reason is because with organic you can't really target and do what and target and do stuff you can do with paid. But with paid you can do targeting, and then you can get the results very fast. Because if you are testing stuff, you don't want to spend a lot of time with testing, because with testing you want to know if something is going to work or it won't work very fast. So the best option is to use paid ads, and it doesn't require plenty money. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pauline.
Can,
Yeah, good evening,
can you hear
Pauline.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay,
now.
good evening. I really appreciate this platform right now because I've gained a lot on the talks from Mr. Toyin. Thank you very much, sir. So
You're welcome.
my question is based on a question someone asked me this evening. So it's as if I'm unable to answer the question he asked. So I just want to get clarifications on it. It's about the 72 IG platform. So I want to ask that why is it that the most promotion that I see out there, it's all about promoting the 72 IG and not other products that are on the platform. Like,
Okay,
it's as if
so
most focus is on the 72 IG instead of other products that the platform has to provide.
so I've answered this question like 1,000 times, but I'm going to answer it
All right.
again. So yeah, so now it's actually Expertnaire. The platform is Expertnaire. The course is 72 IG.
Okay.
So that's the way it works. So the platform is called Expertnaire. 72 IG is just one of the products that is being sold on the on now the reason why majority of athletes sell the 72 IG is because right now 72 IG has the best offer
Okay.
that athletes can gain from. So I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. Number one, with 72 IG, an athlete can make 30K per sale.
All right.
Yeah, 30K per sale. Most products on Expertinaire can't offer that kind of commission. Number two, it's easier. It's easy to sell. It's easy to sell because we have like thousands of proofs backing it up. It's easy for somebody to sell. Then number three, the 72 IG comes with a lot of additional
Okay.
benefits in terms of trips. You can win trips to countries. You can win cars and stuff. So these are the reasons why many people prefer to promote the 72 IG. And that is why they prefer to promote 72 IG, because many of the people promoting it, they are students of the course. So they've gone through the course and they like the course and they are promoting it. And really, when it comes to you promoting stuff, the easiest thing you can promote is something you've used yourself. So for many of them, they are students who purchase the program, they like it, and they are basically selling what they know, what they've gone through, what they've passed through, what they can verify that is good. That's why they are selling it. So meanwhile, there are other products that are actually selling like hot fire, like wild cake too as well. So then it just depends on what you are exposed to. You understand? Because it doesn't mean that you see all the adverts that athletes are doing. So it might just be that you are exposed to. Because for example, I posted the list of 5 other products that people are selling right now on Expertnaire. There is one about moving to Canada. There is a product called KDP, Kindle Amazing something. There's a product on freelancing. So these are other products that people are promoting on Expertnaire, and they are getting tons of sales. So it's not just 72 IG that is being promoted.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the
Yeah,
answers.
yeah, you're
That's all
welcome.
for now. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think you won't be able to answer all the questions here because there are over close to 30 requests. So we'll just take two more questions and then I
Okay, let's
think
just take two more. Yeah, just
yeah.
two
So
more.
Joseph, um, Joseph or is it Coca Cola? Is it Coca Cola? Coca Cola body.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Good evening.
Um, thank you for having me on this platform. Thanks to the host and the co-host. Thanks for the lectures and the tips and all that. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of it. Even though I joined late, but I was able to get 1 or 2 points on my jotter here. Mr. Toyin Omotosho, thank you very much.
You're
So,
welcome.
my question is, I'm new to Expertnaire. I've just joined. Um, so I just wanted to ask. I know these questions must have been asked like 1,000 times, but I wanted to ask myself, what are the things to expect as a new born affiliate who just registered on Expertnaire? What are the things to expect? What are the things to take note of, and how do I start selling, basically?
Okay, so um, Expertnaire is an affiliate platform, and if you are going to sell as an affiliate, it's required that you know how to sell. So if you are saying that, what do you expect? Well, the first thing is, if you don't know how to sell, go and learn how to sell. It's as simple as that. If you don't know how to sell online, go and learn how to sell online, because you won't make any money if you don't know how to sell online. It's just as simple as that. As an affiliate, your result, your income is directly proportional to you being able to sell online. Every affiliate that you see who is making money, they are making money because they are able to sell online. And as a matter of fact, for affiliate platforms, your work, the reason why you are being paid money is for you to sell. So that's just the thing. If you don't know how to sell online, it's just simple. The first thing you need to know how to go and learn how to do is go and learn how to sell online. That's just basically. If you don't know how to sell online, there isn't a lot of stuff that I can say about it. Just go and learn how to sell online. That's just the summary of it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Can you
Yeah.
point me in the right direction? Is there any recommendation for me, something I can study up?
Yeah, we have since you said you're already on Expertnaire, there are some courses on Expertnaire that you can use. I have a course called 72 IG. You can get that one. If it is too expensive for you, there is a course by Bruno called zero to I think it's called 0 to 2K. You can go to that one too as well. Then I think there's another product called what's it? I can't remember the name of this other product again. So, but those two that I've mentioned, you can just check them out on the marketplace. Just check them out on the Expertnaire marketplace, and you can get any of them and just go through it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I
Yeah.
got the 72 IG already, though.
That means you've not gone through it now. You should go through the course before you start coming to ask plenty questions now.
Yeah, yes. I've not gone through everything. Like I said, I'm still fresh. I registered just yesterday.
Uh-huh. So,
All right.
all right.
Okay. Is Joseph there? Last question. Joseph, are you there?
Okay, yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks a lot for the session. It's really been impactful. Okay, so can you hear me?
We
Yeah, I
can
can.
hear you.
Okay, my question is when it comes to selling online courses, do you have any ideas or kind of any or anything you can give ideas you can give on how to sell online courses better and get people to take action?
If you want to know, if you want to sell anything online, like I said during this space,
Yes, sir.
um if you don't know how to actually sell anything, learning copywriting is going to help you. That's just what I'll just tell you. Learning copywriting is going to help you sell online courses or or sell any other thing that you want to sell. So just learn how to create persuasive communication, learn how to create persuasive sales letters to sell your online courses. So that's just what I would say. The other thing that I would say is there are some things that you can get, because for example now, if you are an affiliate marketer who is selling other people's products, you can also use those same skills too as well to sell your own product. It is basically the same thing. So you can even get like a course on affiliate marketing, learn how to do it, and use those skills to sell your own products. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the last question we'll be taking for today.
All right. So thanks to everyone for attending tonight's space. So tomorrow again we're gonna have another class. I'm gonna post it on my wall maybe around 4 p.m. tomorrow, and we're gonna have a nice time again tomorrow. All right. Good night and bye.